Okay, so we are back with the deck file. As you saw in that duel, and kind of showed how your Sprigguns have a lot of offensive capabilities, where for example, link monsters, your Subterror Guru, not like flip them down, just kind of going to be your main source of removal per se. But the Sprigguns really do help a ton in terms of your Guru's offensive capabilities. Just being able to just pop up to maybe 2 or 3 monsters most of the time. It's just a very strong engine in terms of Sprigguns. So we'll go over each card one by one. Starting off with our Spriggun engine, 2 copies of Spriggun's Captain Sturgis. This is gonna be it basically just pops a lot of cards, I guess. It's able to pop a lot of cards on your opponent's turn. It's not too easy to bring it out because you do necessarily have to summon it with a Spriggun speed, but that isn't too difficult with your Spriggun's watch. The main reason why I'm running like all of these cards, even though it's probably not the correct ratio, it's still in testing. You know, we're still testing out the archetype, and we're just testing out ratios. So I'm just gonna try and keep it like as simple as possible. 2 copies of Spriggun's Banger. This is able to search any Spriggun's card, so it's able to search cards like your Spriggun's Watch if you need those Exceeds material, or well, if you need those Exceeds material, you might as well use Blaster's effect. But you can also use search Spriggun's Blast, which is an in-team impermanence, which is just super good. So that's the main reason why I'm running it after 2. 1 copy of Rocky. Since Guru doesn't really use its normal summon too much in the grind game, Rocky is an excellent way to recover cards from the graveyard, which is the main reason for playing it as a 1-up. 2 copies of Spriggun Speed. This is another one of your main recovery tools, being able to recover cards like Captain Sturgis or your Spriggun Ship Explorer. Next we run the 3 copies of Spriggun's Watch. This is an in-team terraforming basically. Its second effect is also pretty good, where it's able to just search any Spriggun's monster and dump any Spriggun's monster. So you can sometimes just set up your graveyard for your Spriggun Speed and get your Captain Sturgis out just for an extra pop or 2. So that is pretty nice. 3 copies of Vast Desert Gold Golconda. This is a really good field spell, where it's able to just summon your Exceeds monster, boss monster, straight from the extra deck, which is basically a spell speed 1. It's basically a spell speed 1. It's a very interesting card, but you know, I'll get to that later, honestly. It has a secondary, it has some other effects. All the Spriggun Exceeds monsters you control gain 1k. So since it only has 1600 attack, that's a very good effect. And you can discard Spriggun's cards summoned from the extra deck, and if an Exceeds monster you control leaves the field by card effect, a monster your opponent controls cannot attack for the rest of the turn. 3 copies of Spriggun's Blast. As I said, this is an in-team impermanence. If you control Spriggun's monster, you can choose one of your opponent's main monster stones. It has to be main monster stone specifically, unfortunately. So you can't really negate monsters in the extra monster zone. So that can come up sometimes. It is kind of difficult, but it's fine. And I don't think this targets either, so this can get over cards like Dragoon, so that's something to keep note of. And it cannot attack directly either, along with having its effects negated, so that is super great. It has a secondary effect where you can choose a monster, an unused monster zone, and then that monster zone cannot be used, but that it's a trash effect. You're never really going to be using it. So that's our Spriggun engine. For our Subterror engine, we run the 1 Strix, so this is standard. The triple Guru, once again you need the consistency. 1 copy of Nemesis Archer. You're usually going to be searching this off Guru maybe turn 3 or 4, just to maybe remove some of the cards the Guru is set, because setting is really just a temporary knockback, not temporary knockback, just a temporary setback, and you do sometimes need a Nemesis Archer for it. You can also just use your Sprigguns, as I said, to clean up your opponent's face down monsters if they're really difficult to beat over, because as I said, it is a very difficult thing for Gurus to deal with if they're not playing Dragoon. Triple Fiendus, you definitely need to run the Fiendus as basically your in-team negate. You're able to just use this up to maybe turn 6 because you're getting one Fiendus every turn, and by then you've more than likely drawn your Spriggun engine, and then you should be able to just close the game from there. 3 copies of your Hidden City. This is just, as I said, for consistency. You need it with your Guru in order to like do some flippy shenanigans. 3 copies of Subterror Final Battle. This is an excellent card, being able to flip your Subterror Guru, which or your Umastrix, which lets you just either banish a monster or potentially get a search / flip a monster. The search is really good since you can search Fiendus and then Fiendus turns into a negate. 1 copy of Terraforming. This is either for your Golgonda or your Hidden City. It really depends on your hand. If you've drawn more Spriggun monsters, you want to just go for the Golgonda. If you've drawn more Subterror monsters, you might want to go for Hidden City. Although turn 1 going for the Hidden City is probably the best option, since you're going to be using the Sprigguns to usually just close out the games rather than do a turn 1 setup. And finally we have our generic cards, Triple Drone Lockbird. This card is insane. It's probably better than cards like Ash Blossom, just since it just has so much utility in the current format. Instant wins versus Dragon Link, instant wins versus Infernoble, instant wins versus what do you call it? Dinosaurs, since their main power plays are either searching off Overraptor, searching off Fossil Dig, drawing off Desires, all of that stuff. It can't survive Drone Lockbird. Like this current format is just super good. Unlike the current format where you didn't really have too much searching, since Eldritch could set them directly at a massive pace, could summon cards directly from the deck. Now this format, Drone Lockbird is just necessary. Triple copies of Extravagance. It's, as I said, it's mainly for consistency. You don't really use your extra deck too much apart from your Exablowers, which is something. I once banished all 3 Exablowers, which is kind of sad. But if I recall correctly, I don't remember the exact chance you had, but I'm pretty sure it was like below 10% at least. I think it was like around the 4% mark. I'm not sure. Triple copies of your Infinite Impermanence. This is just for your it's another generic hand shop really. So continuing with the extra deck, I'm just running a Dogmatic Akora here, Mechabad, Tis, and Cyber Dragon Nova. There's no real reason for it, it's just because I had tons of empty space, so I decided to put those 3 in. Triple Explorer, you do not want to banish this off Extravagance. I mean, it's okay if you banish maybe 2 of them, because you're really just good with, you're pretty good with one of them, since it's able to just dodge destruction abilities by banishing itself, which is super good. And even if it goes to the graveyard, you're able to recover it with Spriggun Speed. And even if it goes to the graveyard, you can use your Vast Desert Gold Golgonda again to summon it, another copy from your extra deck. So you're more than likely going to be banishing just maybe 1 copy of it, so you don't have to worry too much. Cyber Dragon Nova, as I said, for your Mechaba in terms of your Dogmatica matchup. And finally, just some really generic links, double access code, 1 Black plus Soldier of Chaos, 2 copies of each Nightmare. It's really just generic. You can put anything you want in these slots and any of these 9 Link monster slots. And I guess that's the deck. I hope you enjoyed the video. Don't forget to like and subscribe and hit that notification bell, as it really does help the channel. The deck is super fun. I've had tons of fun with Sprigguns. It's a very, very neat concept, and I hope you share my enthusiasm too. And I'll see you next time. Goodbye.